Red Bull has been the dominant force this season, winning each and every race, and with Max Verstappen at the helm of the RB19 car, it most certainly looks like this form will continue. However, the same cannot be said about Sergio Perez, who, despite having a great start to the season, is falling further behind by every race. Helmut Marko, Red Bull's advisor, recently made a comment that shook the entire F1 community, and fans are now demanding that Marko should be fired from the team. So what exactly did Marko say, and why Checo is unhappy with his team? Stick around till the end to find out. Checo has been having a lackluster performance after the first few races in 2023. After the Miami GP, Perez has been struggling a lot with the car, and at one point was even constantly failing to reach Q3. In the last 9 races, Perez only managed to score 4 podiums and was not anywhere close to Verstappen. This has led to many people questioning whether Perez is a good second driver for Red Bull. Before the Dutch GP, there were even rumors surrounding a possible sacking of Perez and him being replaced by Daniel Ricciardo, although those claims were denied by Red Bull and Christian Horner later on. So where does Helmut Marko get involved in all of this? Well, Marko has always been the one to criticize Perez for his driving skills, and this has been going on for a long time now. Remember last year at the French GP when Perez made a big mistake during a safety car restart? In the 2022 French GP, Perez was ahead of Russell during the safety car restart. As the safety car came in, Checo overbraked himself. Russell got the better start and he overtook Perez to take the double podium finish for Mercedes in that race. This led to Marko blaming Perez for missing out on a podium for Red Bull. After the race, in an interview, Helmut said, "Checo was sleeping at the restart. Maybe he drank tequila yesterday." Marko further stated, "We said before the start, don't go around the outside in that corner. It is not possible." So a similar thing happened after the latest Italian Grand Prix. Although Sergio managed to finish P2 in the race and score the much-needed points for the team, in Marko's eyes it still was not good enough. Following his stunning comments regarding Sergio Perez, Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko recently made news for all the wrong reasons. The Austrian this time unleashed a South American jab in addition to criticizing the Mexican for his bad performance. Because of this, a number of F1 fans urged Red Bull to take action against the Austrian on social media. The topic of whether Red Bull is truly thinking about parting ways with Marko is now in question. Such questions have arisen after the 80-year-old told Sport and Talk of Service TV in a recent interview, "Let's remember that he, Perez, is South American, and so his head is not as focused as Max Verstappen or as Sebastian Vettel was, but racing is his forte and he had a very good race at Monza." Helmut Marko has obviously received a lot of anger in recent days, despite Red Bull not having made any announcements regarding whether they are parting ways with him or not. Helmut Marko, a key member of the dominating Formula One team and a motorsport consultant for Red Bull, apologized on Friday after saying that Mexican driver Sergio Perez's erratic performance was due to his ethnicity. This came after Marko received a great deal of anger on social media for his comments about Perez. The 80-year-old Austrian, a former racer who was a close friend of Red Bull's late owner Dietrich Mateschitz, issued a formal statement via the www.servustv.com website. "I would like to apologize for my offensive remark and want to make it absolutely clear that I do not believe that we can generalize about the people from any country, any race, any ethnicity," he said. "I was trying to make a point that Checo Perez has fluctuated in his performance this year, but it was wrong to attribute this to his cultural heritage." The Mexican is from Guadalajara, which is geographically in North America. Marko has previously referred to Perez as a South American. South America has also produced some of the greatest drivers in the sport, as well as more Formula One world champions than any other nation outside Britain. So I think it's really not good for Marko to comment about a country's drivers. Marko's attempt to explain his remarks simply made matters worse. Marko was quoted as stating on Friday by the website OE24 as he said, "It wasn't meant that way. I meant that a Mexican has a different mentality than a German or a Dutchman. But who knows? Maybe it's controlled." So hopefully Helmut Marko will watch his words next time when he is giving an interview. Red Bull's ability on slow city circuits has come under question as Formula One prepares to fly to Singapore for the next race of the season. Sergio Perez said after the Italian Grand Prix that they needed to perform well and capture the pole position in Singapore. Max Verstappen anticipates having plenty of overtaking opportunities in Singapore because there have been numerous modifications being made to the Marina Bay circuit. The most significant change is going to be made in Sector 3, which has a lot of sluggish right-angle turns in its winding sections. A new 397, 9-meter-long mini-straight would be made by straightening out the segment between turns 16 and 19. The anticipated fastest qualifying time, according to calculations, would be about 1 minute and 28 seconds, down from Leclerc's 1 minute and 36-second 2019 pole position time. Red Bull's continued development of their vehicle, according to Sergio Perez, has forced him to step outside of his comfort zone yet again, forcing him to alter his driving style. The Mexican has once again been Max Verstappen's sidekick this season. The defending champion is uncontested and on a record-breaking run of 10 straight race victories as he cruises to his third successive Formula One championship. After the season's first 4 races, it didn't seem like the Dutchman would have it so easy. Perez, who had promised to give his teammate a genuine battle this year, had triumphed in 2 of them. His early title challenge, however, was undermined by a poor run of form, particularly in qualifying. He is currently resigned to competing to finish best of the rest behind Verstappen in every race, just like everyone else. Perez has made a lot of blunders, especially during his lowest point, which started when he wrecked during Monaco qualifying, ending his prospects of earning points that weekend. However, he also believes that the RB19 car his team developed has made his life more difficult. I think every driver through their careers or through each season, you get some upgrades to the car that adapt easier to your driving style than others. Sometimes you will put a part in it and you will straight away go faster with it. Sometimes you will have to adapt to it. It's something that we are all facing through our times during the season with our upgrades. I haven't been able to adapt as quickly as I should, and I had to change my driving style to adapt to the car more than at the beginning of the season, for example, when things were coming more naturally. But that's something that most drivers at some point will go through. Perez is all too familiar with this problem. Red Bull acknowledged last year that the car was becoming increasingly unsuitable for the Mexican driver's preferred driving style, which again meant Verstappen had one less rival to be concerned about for the most part. Sergio thus has to contend with Marko's glaring gaze at every Grand Prix weekend in addition to the car that he does not like. It is understandable why he felt the pressure, and even the finest drivers are capable of making errors like Checo has. Hopefully he regains his confidence and puts on a tough challenge against Max Verstappen at Singapore as an answer back to Helmut Marko's brutal comment. But it is most certainly a wrong thing for Helmut Marko to argue that he lacks performance because he is from a certain ethnic group or from a different background. Hopefully we will be seeing an official statement from Red Bull team soon. So what do you think about this video? Was Helmut Marko right in his criticism of Sergio Perez? Will Red Bull sack Marko? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on bell notification to never miss another upload from us. See you at the finish line.